Is this your life? You wake up late every day after telling yourself you were going to wake up early the night before. You reach for your phone instead of that brand new pair of running shoes that collect dust in your closet. You go to work every single day, working a job you despise and you know you deserve more than. You reach for short-term pleasures to distract yourself from the fact that you hate who you've become. Where did it all go wrong? My name is Jake Moscato, and if you clicked on this video, you're probably a lot like me. Society would have you believe that the perfect job, mortgage, benefits, and security makes you happy. But in reality, all it really does is make you feel like you're drowning.
Welcome to The Tonight Show. Thank you so much for being here.
Andrew, how are you?
Dr. Motherfucking Huberman.
Dr. Andrew D. Huberman.
Andrew Huberman is the modern-day godfather of personal development, reviving passion and strength across millions of lives with practical clinical knowledge as a 30-plus year Stanford professor and top neuroscientist. Quick break in the video. I know there's obviously a lot of high production in this video, but I don't want you guys to think for a second that it's not real. So I'm removing all the editing, all the quick cuts, just to share a little bit of who I am, like my testimony. 27 years old, financially, I am nowhere near where I want to be. I feel like my energy and my motivation have been gone because of my relationship with my phone and dopamine. In general, I'm just addicted to things, right? Like it's almost like I'm scared to be the best version of myself because there's like a weaker part of me that just wins every day. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. I feel like there's two parts of me, there's two sides of me. Like there's like this higher self, which is the guy that sets out to make this video. But then there's the lower self that's like, stay in bed, or like eat that unhealthy food, or like throw a temper tantrum with your girl. And this routine, I know, will completely change that because I've done this in the past. Whenever my life gets so bad, this is what I do. All right, guys, step one of the challenge, waking up early. Andrew Huberman wakes up every single day around 6 to 6:30 a.m. By going to bed around 10 to 11 p.m., he ensures he gets at least 7 hours of sleep, which is essential for optimal recovery. Sleep is obviously a superpower. I'm not gonna get into it, but there's an article below with all the health benefits of sleep. Step two, hydration. As soon as Andrew Huberman wakes up, he goes for water. It's kind of an obvious thing to do, but he puts some sea salt in there to replenish his electrolytes. Our bodies are often dehydrated after a night of sleep, so getting water first thing is extremely important for cognitive function, physical performance, mood, etc. Step three, and this is where it gets unique, immediate exposure to sunlight. In several podcast episodes, Huberman emphasizes that he makes a beeline to get at least 10 to 15 minutes of natural light exposure without sunglasses right after waking up. He says this is the single most important thing you could do for your sleep and your mood. When you get natural light early in the day, it sets in motion of a long list of neurobiological and hormone cascades that are good for you. Step four, he does a 90-minute focused work block. In a podcast episode, Huberman shared that he finds pleasure in overcoming cognitive challenges and tackling one every day is a priority. Thus, he makes an effort to minimize distractions in the morning. And this is really important. He avoids his phone, no emails, no social media, no scrolling. He's doing something that is important to him. This is where I'm going to step in and get into a little bit of like the inspiration behind this challenge. Obviously, you guys see this is a bunch of scientific stuff, but this is where your life can become a little bit more creative. This is where I feel like if there's something in your life that you really want to do that you haven't had the time to do that's really important to you, this 90-minute work block is your time to do it. There's no distractions, you're up early, the world shut off, and this is your time to finally do that thing that's most important to you. Step five, and you guys probably won't like this, it's now time to drink caffeine 90 minutes after waking. When you have caffeine directly after waking, it sets you up for an afternoon crash. If you delay caffeine at least 90 minutes after waking, which I know sucks, I promise you will feel a lot better and it will completely get rid of that afternoon crash. There's science to it. There's things that are happening in the brain with hormones like adenosine and adrenaline and all this stuff. Don't worry about that. Just drink your coffee 90 minutes after waking. Now, step six, exercise. Andrew Huberman, as soon as he gets his caffeine in him, he sends it to the gym. There are certain things that he does. I don't think it's that important to follow it to a T. I would just say whatever you want to do to move your body. I like running, I like boxing, I like weightlifting. I mean, you guys might like dancing, hiking. Just get outside,
move your body. It's just really important. I find for me, if you're trying to do something worthwhile in your life, you need everything. You need body, mind, and spirit. And if your body's not working correctly, it's gonna fuck up every other area of your life. Step 7, and coming up on the end here, we have cold exposure. I'm gonna read this because I'm not a scientist. Research has found that cold water immersion may help reduce body fat and improve insulin sensitivity, which could help protect against cardiovascular disease, obesity, and other metabolic disorders. Plus, it may help improve mental resilience and mood. Huberman often talks about how deliberate cold exposure causes a prolonged release of the feel-good hormone dopamine. Huberman likes to do a cold plunge, but if you don't have access to a cold plunge, you can probably get away with a cold shower. Just make sure you turn that water as cold as possible and you stay in for longer than you probably need to. In an ice bath, you could do 1 to 3 minutes. If you're doing a cold shower, I'd say go somewhere like 3 to 5. But if you need an ice bath, that brings us to
Whoa! Wallakazam! That brings us to the sponsor of today's video, SaunaBox. SaunaBox is the world's best at-home portable cold plunge and sauna. They have this unit, which is really cheap, and you put ice in it and it's ready to go. But they also have a chiller unit that's coming out, so you won't have to keep getting ice, which is great. Discount code is below, and back to the video.
And finally, step 8. It's time to break your fast. Yes, you're doing intermittent fasting. Yes, Andrew Huberman says it's extremely beneficial for you. I'll leave an article below, something about why intermittent fasting is good for you. There's a process called autophagy. Again, this is probably not the most scientific video in the world, so I'm not gonna get into it. It's good for your cells, and your entire body is made up of cells, hair, skin, nails, everything. Even some people would argue your mind.
When I started this challenge, I was completely lost and I felt like my life didn't mean anything anymore. But over the past 30 days, what I've come to realize that you have to make it mean something. If we are what we repeatedly do, excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Every small action, every conscious choice contributes to who we become. It's in these daily habits that we find our true potential and purpose. To take these lessons and integrate them into your life. Build your own routines, make your days count, and watch as you transform your life from the inside out. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking to the end of the video. It means the world. Thank you, Andrew Huberman. I'd love to meet you one day, do a podcast with you one day. Guys, you don't have to do it alone. There are plenty of resources out there, people, heroes like Andrew Huberman. Hopefully this channel can become a resource for you to inspire you guys to lead better lives, to take back control of your lives. If you're going through anything, you know, I really hope you guys do this because it changed my life. And I hope this channel can help change yours.